Mr. President, this time, what would it take for you to be convinced that there's no white genocide in South Africa?
Well, I can answer that for the President. It's for him. No, seriously.
I'd rather have him answer.
Yeah, I'd rather answer that. It will be.
Our President will respond to you.
Yeah,
Thank you, Mr. President.
It will take President Trump listening to the voices of South Africans, some of whom are his good friends, like those who are here. When we have talks between us on around a quiet table, it will take President Trump to listen to them. I'm not going to be repeating what I've been saying. I would say if there was Afrikaner farmer genocide, I can bet you these three gentlemen would not be here, including my Minister of Agriculture. He would not be with me. So it'll take him, President Trump, listening to their stories, to their perspective. That is the answer to your question.
But Mr. President, I must say that we have, wait.
Hi guys, how you doing? Sure hope you're doing well. It's Synolve. Welcome. So today we had a visit from President Ramaphosa, Cyril Ramaphosa from South Africa, and it was an interesting visit. I thought that, of course, Trump had a bit of medication, so he seemed to be much calmer than normal, except for this small outburst with a reporter who asked him about this jet from the Qataris. Let's listen to that.
Mr. President, the Pentagon announced that it would be accepting a Qatari jet to be used as Air Force One.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You know, you to get out of here. What does this have to do with the Qatari jet? They're giving the United States Air Force a jet, okay? And it's a great thing. We're talking about a lot of other things. It's NBC trying to get off the subject of what you just saw. You are a real, you're a terrible reporter. Number one, you don't have what it takes to be a reporter. You're not smart enough. But for you to go into a subject about a jet that was given to the United States Air Force, which is a very nice thing, they also gave $5.1 trillion worth of investment in addition to the jet. Go back, you ought to go back to your studio at NBC, because Brian Roberts and the people that run that place, they ought to be investigated. They are so terrible the way you run that network, and you're a disgrace. No more questions from you. Go ahead. Go ahead, talk about that. His name is Peter something. He's a terrible reporter. Quiet. Let's go.
Yes, that was an interesting exchange. You all, welcome. This is Synolve. Look, follow me on Facebook. Follow me on YouTube. I'm going to leave all the links below. We have a Facebook group as well. I'm over on TikTok, so you can follow me there. And so we can stay connected. I also have a newsletter. And so I'd love for you guys to join me and join me on Patreon if you want to support this channel, because your support helps me to keep going and to continue to share the messages that I do. Now, what did I think? So this visit was very interesting. Like I said, I thought, Trump was definitely taking his medicine. It was clear that he was taking his meds, because he was pretty mild. He was very kind, overly kind to Ramaphosa.
He is a man who is certainly in some circles really respected, other circles a little bit less respected, like all of us, in all fairness, like all of us.
We all like that.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President.
No, not you. Right here. He's from South Africa. Go ahead, please.
What are you expecting on the ICJ case? Are you expecting South Africa to drop that? Is that what you're trying to do?
On which case?
The ICJ
The International
case is
Criminal Justice.
International Criminal
I don't expect anything, to be honest. I really don't. I don't know. It's they've got a case. There's a lot of anger there, tremendous anger. I don't expect anything. We'll see what happens. We'll have a ruling, and who knows what the ruling is going to mean.
This idea of him suggesting that there's genocide with the South Africans, the Afrikaners, of course, is just highly ridiculous. No one believes that. I mean, we're beyond that now. We used to believe what the West said in the Western media. No one believes. We don't believe everything that comes out of the president's mouth and the generals. We've seen Langley General Langley talked very negatively about Traore. That hadn't worked out well. No, in Afrikaans, that has not worked out well in a Senate hearing. I have videos on that. I'll leave it linked below. Now, and so now we are here. These Afrikaners, I think it's 49. There have been different reports of the number, but let's watch them as let's go ahead and roll this clip and we can see them coming to America.
White South Africans arriving as refugees at Dulles Airport outside Washington today on a plane chartered by the State Department, a process that usually takes years, greeted by a top-ranking U.S. diplomat.
Welcome. Welcome to the United States of America.
And this from President Trump.
It's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about, but it's a terrible thing that's taking place, and farmers are being killed. They happen to be white. But whether they're white or black makes no difference to me.
The president signed an executive order in February calling them victims of unjust racial discrimination from the country's black majority, something the South African government vigorously denied.
And fast forward to today, we are having this meeting between Ramaphosa and Trump.
Mr. President, I must say that we have, wait. We have thousands of stories talking about it. Sure. And we have documentaries, we have news stories.
And then there were these moments when he tried to ambush Ramaphosa. Oh my gosh, he played this video. Let's roll.
And that, is Natalie here? Somebody here to turn that? I could show you a couple of things, and it has to be responded to.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see the articles, please, if you would. And turn the lights down. Turn the lights down, and just put this on. It's right behind you, Johan.
There's nothing this parliament can do. With or without you, people are going to occupy land. We require no permission from you, from the president, from no one. We don't care. We can do whatever you want to do. Who are you to tell us whether we can occupy land or not? We are going to occupy land. Yeah. South Africa occupy land. That's who we are. We can withdraw my membership from this useless parliament.
Yes, honorable member. Must never be scared to kill. A revolution demands that at some point there must be killing, because the killing is part of a revolutionary act. Shoot to kill. Namasa. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer. Pa, 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 pa. To kill. Namasa. Kill the poor, the farmer. Kill the poor, the farmer.
So, it seems that President Trump, and of course President Ramaphosa, wanted to discuss this whole idea.
Now this is very bad. These are burial sites right here. Burial sites. Over 1,000 of white farmers, and those cars are lined up to pay love on a Sunday morning. Each one of those white things you see is a cross, and there's approximately 1,000 of them. They're all white farmers, the family of white farmers. And those cars aren't driving, they're stopped there to pay respects to their family member who was killed. And it's a terrible sight. I've never seen anything like it. Both sides of the road you have crosses. Those people were all killed.
Have they told you where that is, Mr. President? No, I'd like to know where that is, because this I've never seen. But okay.
I mean, it's in South Africa. That's where.
Trump even handed him some papers, some papers of what was pictures that he saw of people, some genocide.
This is one after another. This family was wiped out. I'm just looking.
Can we get a response from President Ramaphosa?
What's your reaction to those videos, Mr. President?
President Trump,
Well, I think the videos are so. No. When you look at the videos, I mean, how does it get worse? And these are people that are officials, and they're saying that kill the white farmer and take their land. That's what. And I have other friends in South Africa. I have people that left. One in particular that says you can't go there. He said they want to take your land, they take your land, and they kill you. It's okay, and they say it's okay to do. Now, we're going to talk about it, but this is a tremendous, look, this is story recent. Yeah. These are all people that recently got killed.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it can get any worse. These are and you know, the men that you saw, the people that you saw in that movie, those are officials. Those are people that were in office. They had one march, they had a dance in your parliament, whatever you may call it, legislature.
Well, let me clarify that.
Yeah,
let me clarify that, because what you saw, the speeches that were being made, one, that is not government policy. We have a multi-party democracy in South Africa that allows people to express themselves, political parties to adhere to various policies, and in many cases, or in some cases, those policies do not go along with government policy. Our government policy is completely against what he was saying, even in the parliament. And they're a small minority party, which is allowed to exist in terms of our constitution.
But you do allow them to take land.
No.
You do allow them to take land.
Nobody can take land.
And then when they take the land, they kill the white farmer. And when they kill the white farmer, nothing happens to them.
No, there is
nothing happens to them.
There is criminality in our country. People who do get killed, unfortunately, through criminal activity, are not only white people. Majority of them are black people. And we have now been utilized.
The farmers are not black. I don't say that's good or bad, but the farmers are not black. And the people that are being killed in large numbers, and you saw all those grave sites, and those are people that loved ones going, I guess on a Sunday morning, they told me, to pay respect to their loved ones that were killed, their heads chopped off.
We now know that there is, those photos were taken perhaps by Starlink, but by drone footage from the Congo. So isn't that interesting?
They died violently, and you know, I mean, we're here to talk about it, and I didn't know we'd get involved here, but I will say this, that if the news wasn't fake, like NBC, which is fake news, totally, one of the worst, ABC, NBC, CBS, horrible, but if they weren't fake news like this jerk that we have here, if we had real reporters, they'd be covering it, but the fake news in this country doesn't talk about that. They don't want to talk about it, but now they have to talk about it, but they won't. This won't even be a subject. They'll have him talking about why did a country give a free, think of this, why did a country give an airplane to the United States Air Force? Okay, the United States, not to me, to the United States Air Force, so they could help us out, because we need an Air Force One until that's Air Force One, it's being built, 2 of them being built. But Boeing's a little bit late, unfortunately. So why did they give us a plane to the United States Air Force? That's what that idiot talks about after viewing a thing where thousands of people are dead.
I'm sorry, I don't have a plane to give you.
I wish you did. I take it. I would take it. If your country offered the United States Air Force a plane, I would take it.
Okay. But coming back to this issue, which I really would like us to talk about, and talk about it very calmly. We were taught by Nelson Mandela that whenever there are problems, people need to sit down around a table and talk about them.
Well, there are problems.
And this is precisely what we would also like to talk about, including, of course, trade matters, investment matters. So the issues that concern you as the United States.
Those are all recent. Those are all deaths.
Yeah, in many ways, I mean, one should say you are a partner of South Africa, and you are raising concerns, and these are concerns that we are willing to talk to you about. Let me just add quickly, you know, the criminality that we are experiencing in our country needs quite a lot of technological capability. And in one of our areas in South Africa, we're using US technology, which is able to, in many ways, identify where shootings are happening and all that. And I'd like to talk about that because there is support that we can get from you and the United States to help us deal with all these acts of criminality. And that is what I believe partnership is all about. And we are here as a partner so that we can help each other whenever there are challenges. So I'd like us to discuss it.
They've done their own investigation. There is no genocide in South Africa. They did conduct an investigation. And so, I mean, what is there? I mean, y'all, it's messy. And I think that leaders should be able to run their own countries. I do. There's a young lady who was there. She was there and she said that there was a crime issue in South Africa, not necessarily that only white farmers were being killed or unalived, but that this issue was happening to elderly Black women who were being maliciously violated multiple times and unalived as well, elderly grandmothers. And so she said the issue was crime and they wanted, they were asking for more equipment, more technology to combat and battle this issue. Yeah, let's listen to her because that's very interesting.
President Trump, I've brought along the president of the largest trade union in our country, Ziggy Solosi, because she leads many, many workers, more than 1 million, 2 million workers. And maybe we should give her a chance to say something because she's come all the way to join us.
Thank you very much, Mr. President Trump, for having us, and President, for extending the invitation to us as organized labor. And I must say that we are here to support the initiative that has been made by our government with business, of course. And I would have thought that the minister would address the issue of land expropriation and how the policy works in South Africa. Recently, President, as you were preparing to come here on the news, in, I think it was on Natal, there was a handover of farms. And white farmers were saying, we are donating the land, but also there's a willing buyer, willing seller in South Africa. So there is no expropriation without compensation, but it is a willing buyer, willing seller. And that white farmer was even saying, President, that the government is even paying more in buying the land than what the land is worth of. And I think those are the realities, President. But lastly for me, President, is also the issue of the crime statistics. There is no doubt about it that we are a violent nation, you know, for a number of reasons, and we're not condoning anything. But also if you go into the rural areas where Black majority are, you would see women, elderly, being raped, being killed, being murdered, and these are Black elderly women that would be found throat slits, raped multiple times, and all of that. And the problem in South Africa, it is not necessarily about race, but it is about crime. And we think that we are here to say, how do we, both nations, work together to reset, to really talk about investment, but also help us in how we can have the technology and everything that is needed, President, to really address the levels of crime that we have in our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
President Trump.
So that is the... All right. My child is texting. Okay. My child is texting. Okay. So, you know, when our babies text, you know, we are all the way trying to watch and see what they're doing and what it is that they may need or they're talking about. Okay, you have adult children, y'all know, Back to the story. So here we are. Ramaphosa is here, and Trump, of course, pulls out those pictures. He's going off on the reporter. He's talking to Ramaphosa about the genocide.
Mr. President, genocide is a very strong word. I'm wondering if you've made up your mind as to whether you believe genocide is occurring in South Africa, or you still have doubts, and if you have made up your mind, why invite President Ramaphosa here today?
Well, I haven't made up my mind. I hate to see it from the standpoint of South Africa, but also, I'm trying to save lives.
Well, this was a very interesting conversation. Ramaphosa, I will say, held his own, and he was very diplomatic through all of the antics and the ambush that Trump tried. He stayed cool as a cucumber under pressure, no matter what was shown. Of course, these pictures are in the Congo. They're not even in South Africa. And so here we are. We have this president who is cool as a cucumber, very diplomatic. And then, of course, Trump had his moments. Here's another moment. He had his moments and tried to ambush. But, of course, Ramaphosa stood strong. And, of course, Trump was who Trump is. Lies all included. That's not going to change except for those few small glimpses of moments. Wow. We thought we had a human. No. All righty. All right. I love you guys. This is Synolve signing off, and I'm going to see y'all in another video real soon. Bye-bye, guys.